Hi everyone, it's Sharon with Thrive Mind Transformations. Today I just want to touch base and talk a little bit about our anxiety and money, or perhaps money and our anxiety. Now we have seen in the last year, and of course even the year before that and the year before that, but particularly this last, 2 years, the cost of living has risen exponentially, and we are at a lot of people are at a crossroads right now. They don't know what they're going to do. They're really worried that everything is going to fall apart. And these worries are very understandable. Just have a look at the world. Look at the fact that if someone has to move because their place has been sold or whatever that they've been renting, they move and now they're looking at sometimes 2, sometimes 3 times the amount of rent that they're used to paying. And that has fit into their budget. And then there's the cost of food, there's the cost of fuel, and literally every single thing that you can purchase has risen. So it's about the anxiety piece though, like what is going on for you, to you, through you, with the concerns about your finances. And this isn't, of course, everyone, but it's a lot of people. And I was on a meeting this morning where that very topic came up. And the anxiety that people are going through right now over worrying about their financial future is creating all sorts of havoc with their lives, just like any stress will do. More fighting with their partners or even their children, just being super uptight so that anything that comes across their plate is going to be cause a reaction. The mind's not clear, the sleep is lacking, the diets have changed even because, quite frankly, it's less expensive to buy crap food than it is to buy healthy food. So that's one of the significant contributions to what's going on as well. So what do we do about that? How do we manage our anxiety? And even if it's not about money, it could be about other things, of course, because life has many challenges. One way to manage it is to shift our thinking and our beliefs. And this is not something that you can do overnight. Changing beliefs is an incremental kind of process. If you change all at once, you kind of would be out of your body, just out of what you know. So looking for some evidence that, hey, maybe things are going to be okay. Maybe this too shall pass, because this too shall pass. And changing that thinking, there's a bit of a chain reaction that goes on here. So right now, if you're in a pattern or habit of thinking about anything that's creating anxiety in your life, your finances, you're thinking about that so much, it's on the forefront of your mind every time that bill arrives in the mail or whatever. So what you want to do with that is understand this. This is what happens. We create a pattern of habitual way of thinking about certain things. That, the more we think about it, it's just like going to the gym and building our muscles. We are building our neural pathways. So that particular neural pathway has been built up and it's a constant worry. What happens when a neural pathway becomes very strong is we're so used to thinking that way habitually that now it becomes part of our subconscious mind. What that means is when that bill arrives in the mail, we are instantly triggered. And what will happen, and you may or may not notice this, but it's a really important thing to notice, that our body reacts. So for me, if I have an anxious moment, I feel it here in my solar plexus. Some people feel a heavy weight on their chest. There's all sorts of different things that can happen and how it can manifest in the body. Very important to notice that. So get in tune with your body. You have a thought, your feelings triggered, then that will raise your awareness. And when your awareness is raised, you can then from there start thinking about it differently. Okay, I had a thought that, how am I going to pay that bill? I'm going to think that I will pay this bill. I'm going to think that this too shall pass. I'm going to start really shifting my belief to think, I've been through crap before. I'm going through it again. And just a little bit of a cautionary note. if you are tuning into the news on a daily basis, if you are watching particularly, there's particular newscasts that you can watch or articles that you can read that will make you feel like we are going to hell in a handbasket. I don't partake in those. I haven't for actually a long time. I don't even think that way anymore. I don't. And that's been very helpful for my personal anxiety, for sure. So that's one thing. And the other thing, you know, or if you're reading articles that are just sort of catastrophizing what's going to happen with our current situation, it's going to get into your brain, it's going to get into your body. So when we start to shift our thinking and our way of our beliefs and our way of thinking, what happens is we start to replace that strong neural pathway that is the anxious one over the bills arriving or whatever, and we start building a new neural pathway. And as we can raise our awareness and think more in that way, that neural pathway becomes stronger. This is science-based, so if that's important to you. That neural pathway becomes stronger. The stronger we can build those positive neural pathways, they will eventually, and we do need to be patient with this, it didn't happen overnight for us the other way, we will build that strong neural pathway that now becomes habitual thinking. It will get into our subconscious. It will bump out, it will replace the other neural pathway, the other instantaneous subconscious thoughts. It's not that they'll ever go away forever and never ever show up again. But with the awareness, the increased awareness, we can bump up that way of thinking and we can build that. And just do this. I mean, you can practice that. You can practice raising your awareness, having your awareness at the forefront of your mind, of the way you're thinking. Change the thought. You can sit in meditation and quietly go to a place in that meditation. You don't don't worry about your mind if it gets carried away and thinking again. Just bring it back to a visualization of a place that you absolutely love to be, a place that you visited as a child. It doesn't matter. It's a place that you absolutely loved to be in or would love to be in. Go to that place in your mind and just keep thinking about it. And if it's a visual like the ocean, bring in the seagulls, the sound of the seagulls, bring in the sound of the waves, bring in the visual of it. Do anything you can to quiet your mind and bring in another positive aspect to yourself. Thinking negatively for a long time, after a period of time, it does impact our physical beings. People get ill. That has been well proven by lots of different people, but Dr. Gabor Mate, he's now retired, but has written several books. And one of the books he wrote was called When the Body Says No. And if you haven't read it, it's an interesting read. You can read bits and pieces of it. You don't have to read it cover to cover. And you'll be able to read about a whole bunch of studies that were done with different kinds of illnesses and disease. And that because of our personalities or the way of our thinking led to certain types of disease and illness. So that's just something that, again, if you really kind of are looking for proof or evidence, then that stuff is interesting to you. If you don't really care about the proof or the evidence so much, let's try to bump up our our intuition. Let's try to get in touch with the knowing, because we all have intuition. We just stop trusting it. And so let's just maybe, as you're meditating, you can sort of sit and just think into the fact that you can say, I do know a lot of things. And I'm talking about knowing, not because we went to school and we read a textbook. I'm talking about that intuitive hit that you get. So there's a couple of things you can do to help you on your way. I truly are going to ask you to be kind to yourself and be very patient in this process. Don't give up, because it does work. It can change your life. It can change your outlook, and it will positively impact, well, your whole life, but your health. Mental health is worldwide is not good right now. Well, this is a big reason why. So I wish you the most wellness and have a fabulous day. And thank you for sticking through this. This is like 10 minutes long. Anyhow, have a great day, and we'll see you again.